1st, 1812, President James Madison declared war between Canada and the United States of America. One reason they did this was because there was a war going on in Europe between Britain and France, and both countries introduced laws that if any country was found doing trade with the enemy of that country, their ships would be taken and hostage and used. The United States did not like this and began to hate Britain for this because they did lots of trade with France. Because Canada was still a British colony then, America decided to hurt Britain through Canada and declared war on Canada.
During the invasion of Upper Canada, American troops marched in British North America, killing British troops. British troops weren't prepared for this attack, so the only thing they could do was run. This led to Americans inside British North America, which wasn't too great for the British.
The Battle of Queenston Heights was the first major battle in the War of 1812. The battle took place on October 13, 1812 near Queenston in the province of Ontario today. It was fought between the United States regulars and New York militia led by Major General Stephen von Rensselaer, and the Canadian militia and natives was led by General Isaac Brock, who was killed by the Americans, and Major General Roger Sheaffe, who replaced Brock and took command of the Canadian forces when he died. The Americans had a few thousand more men but lost the battle in the end. On the Canadian side of the battle, there were 21 people killed, 85 wounded, and 22 captured. On the American side of the battle, there were 100 people killed, 170 wounded, and 835 captured. One of the battle tactics used to win this battle was called the Thin Red Line. It had 3 rows of soldiers. The first would fire, kneel, reload. The second would fire and kneel and reload. And the third would fire, kneel, and reload. And then the first row would fire again, and the process would repeat itself.
During the Battle of York, a lot of buildings were burned at York, and a very significant British leader died too. General Pike dies, and soldiers surround him with the British flag to show their loss. American troops captured York.
Canadian forces crossed the Niagara River and captured Fort Niagara on December 18, 1813. They then proceeded to Buffalo and burned it on December 30, 1813. This attack was revenge to repay the Americans for the invasion of York, the capital of Upper Canada at the time, and the Americans burned several of the public buildings in York.
On August 24, 1814, British troops were led into the U.S. by General Robert Ross to occupy Washington, D.C. This was payback for American troops burning parts of York in British North America. British troops burned the White House and other important buildings in Washington, D.C. While burning the White House, an American decided to make the Star-Spangled Banner. The Treaty of Ghent was signed on December 24, 1814. It was signed in Ghent, Belgium, a country that wasn't involved in the War of 1812. This ended the war between the two nations of British North America and the United States of America. James Madison, the U.S. President, and a British diplomat signed the treaty.